Last time on Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater, Cersei, Joanne, and Harlock entered Pont Vide, and after a tour were quickly recruited to the Westlinia space program, leaving a confused Alec Holland behind outside the city alone. After they alerted him of their intentions to leave the planet, Alec decided to head east toward White Castle in his recently decimated home territory. There he found the Donnie Dragonslayer outlet abandoned, so he drank until he was drunk enough to break in and urinate all over the Great Hall and smash the place up a bit, before he decided to head to White Castle and tried to cut in line, but instead he was stopped and had plenty of time to sober up while he waited in the back of the queue. His allies stayed in Pont Vide for the next months, going through the process to secure their positions in the next rocket leaving Prime, and decided to make one last trek outside the city walls before leaving the planet. And now, Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater continues.
Under my badge, I'm in the zombie department, a reporter, which is a volunteer for space research. I'm going to say that I need to study the effects of space on zombies and see if I can diplomacy my way in bringing in Frodrick as a study subject.
Okay, roll it. I like that.
Gonna be a 38.
Alright, they'll say they've been studying that for years. That's why they initially took a lot of the zombies to the moon once they started having a zombie problem. They started experimenting a lot with the undead and became overpopulated with them, and at first took a bunch to the moon. So the moon's full of undead. So they don't think you're going to be short of study subjects, but the fact that you have familiarity with this Frodrick and he seems special to you, I'm going to say because you rolled so high, which you always do because you're Cersei.
Well, I rolled an 18,
yeah.
That makes you feel...
No, it does. It does. They're going to allow it. They'll understand why, but they'll explain like they've been studying it for a long time, the effects of the undead and space, and so they're going to allow you. If you want to bring Frodrick, you may. He'll only be as a test subject though. They'll require that he brings nothing with him.
Damn it!
Zero. He can bring nothing except the clothes on his back, and they can be non-magical only. So he will just be a test subject. They'll keep him locked up separate, and you will only have access to him during your workday period. Like, he'll be kept separate from you, and only during your study in your lab will you have access to Frodrick.
Make a melee character on board. God,
he'll still be there, but he'll be locked up most of the time unless you find a way to break him out. He'll be, like, in your lab.
Yeah, I don't really see the point in that. I'll leave him behind. That just seems like a good way for me to lose Frodrick.
Alright, so you say, never mind. If there's if there's plenty of zombies in space anyway, I'll just use those zombies that are already in space.
Yeah, we'll let Frodrick, Alfred 2.0, and Genevieve hang out and keep an eye on things, I guess.
Harlock, can I make something happen to you?
Yeah.
One of the kids in your engineering class offers you some hype.
Ooh. Can I do... I'm going to ask him straight up, what's this hype? What's the hype? What's the hype? What am I rolling? Knowledge or diplomacy?
Yeah.
Sense motive?
Your sense motive or diplomacy, whichever you're trying to do.
35 on diplomacy.
Alright, so yeah, you seem like the kind of guy, I mean, he obviously came right up to you and asked if you want a drug, so you obviously seem the kind of guy that's cool to talk to about it. So he's like, man, I jacked this stuff from the Star Patrol, man. They use it like adrenaline, man. It like boosts your perception and reaction time, man. It's fucking hype, dude. It's hype.
So it's Coke.
Yeah. Sweet, space Coke.
He says it's usually $500, but since he just met you, he'll give you for $250. You seem like a cool guy.
You gotta sample the goods before you...
Yeah. You gotta give me a dose first.
He'll give you a dose. You take a dose?
Yeah, I'll take one dose.
No.
Alright, so after 6 seconds, you get a +5 competence bonus on perception checks.
Hell yeah.
Your base land speed is increased by 10 feet, but you take a -4 on all concentration checks. You take a -4 on all intelligence, wisdom, and charisma checks.
Uh-oh.
Including skill checks that require those skills, except perception.
How long does that last?
Lasts for 1 hour.
And then everything totally wears off.
And it all wears off, yep.
Are you addicted to it?
It's not an addictive thing, it's just a fucking hype, dude. Created in the medical lab here at Starport. It makes you less wise, less charismatic, and less intelligent, but you move really fast and see really good.
Less wisdomful.
Yeah.
Alright, bro. Yeah, that seems like some pretty decent shit. I ain't paying no $200 though. I'll trade you a bat for it.
A what?
A battery.
Oh, a battery?
That's 200.
Well, they're $250, but he'll agree. He'll take a battery. Batteries are worth a lot here.
Alright. Sweet, so I got a dose of...
Hype!
Dose of hype!
Anything else you guys do before this Evster meeting or before your rocket launch?
I reckon Cersei should go to that gigantic graveyard and try to talk to Ergothoa about what her will would be while I'm in space researching zombies and whatnot.
Alright, so you leave the city also. You leave the inner city, leave the outer city, go outside, walk to the nearby large graveyard.
Yeah, I'll take Froderick and Harlock with me if they want to come.
Yeah, I'll go for a...
Grave stroll.
Yeah, I'm hyped as shit.
It's
Yeah,
probably
let's
probably a
go.
good thing that you went. Juwan, do you want to come too to the graveyard, or are you staying in the city now that you've already visited Gozra? Or do you want to assume this is around the same time and you just like followed them after you like this is on your walk there, you did your Gozra stuff?
Yeah, I guess.
Alright, so Juwan will play along that it was on her walk there that she did her Gozra stuff, and now you guys are headed to the graveyard to do Urgathoa stuff, so you guys all went together.
I have to go talk
as
to
a gang.
I'll talk to Genevieve about...
Which is good, because I rolled a 96, which means you guys are going to have an encounter when you reach the graveyard.
Oh, what the hell?
Sorry. But if you guys want to go ahead and roll a perception as you approach the graveyard.
Ooh, natural 20 plus 9. Tell me everything. I got a natural 20 on that.
Alright, Juwan got a natural 20, so I'll tell her everything.
Everything.
So yeah, this is a very large graveyard outside of Cranagris. Seems to be full of fallen soldiers, warriors, heroes, etc. But what you guys will notice as you approach, on the outskirts, there's a large fence, a large iron gate that surrounds the cemetery. And on the edge of this fence, the area that you guys are approaching, it looks sort of like a human. Juwan will point out probably more than... but it does seem to have hollow eye sockets, pale, semi-transparent flesh, dirty, unkempt hair, like rags for clothing. Definitely seems some sort of incorporeal undead.
So it's like a skeleton with translucent skin on it.
Yeah, sort of half there, half not there.
Like ghosty-like half there?
Ghosty-like. Incorporeal means like not technically solid. So you see some like really ghoulish looking...
So is it maybe just a protector of this graveyard?
I mean, you don't know, but it definitely seems to be hanging on the outskirts of this graveyard.
I mean, is it mad at us for being there? Is it trying to, like, eat
with
us,
your perception check, it does seem territorial. I'll say that as a druid, you probably do pick up on the fact that it's acting territorially. It does seem to be patrolling this area the way an animal would. Like, it does seem to think that this... So as you guys approach, maybe Joanna point out, it looks like that thing, whatever it is, if that was an animal, it looks like it's patrolling its territory. Just to warn you guys as you approach that whatever that thing is, it looks like it's patrolling this territory, thinking that it's its own territory. It seems to be flying about 40 feet off the ground above the graveyard.
Well, I'm going to stop in my tracks then. I'm not going to keep walking.
Alright.
You guys are about 50 feet away right now. Like I said, it's about 40 feet up in the air, and you're about 10 feet back before you feel like you're going to walk right into its range of view.
I'm going to move up 10 more feet and cast Command Undead. It has to be 21.
I rolled an 18 plus my will, which is 8. So it's a 26. You do not command this undead.
I'm down for whooping ass.
Yeah, do you guys want to open up attacks on this bad boy?
Alright, let's roll for initiative, because it definitely sensed that magic attack you just did, so...
Now it's going to attack us. Can we not try to ask it what it's doing
I
here?
rolled a 19, so unless you rolled higher than a 19, no.
I got 19.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got 18.
I keep hitting
So-
things.
What did you get, Liz?
11.
Alright, I'm gonna let this thing go first, and you guys go whatever order you want after that.
Oh wait, let me roll for Frederick as well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think his initiative is that high. Yeah, he only gets 15.
Alright, it starts coming down from, like, it's flying above this graveyard, and it starts, like, coming down over the fence towards you guys. I need all of you to make a will save, as it seems to be staring into each one of your souls as it comes over the fence.
Really bad. It's really
Got
bad.
18.
Alright, Cersei's fine.
9. I'm not fine.
Juwan's not fine.
I got a 12.
Alright, Frederick.
Oh no, you got an 8.
Alright, everyone except Cersei is paralyzed and frozen in place. You can breathe normally, but cannot take any actions, not even speak. Each round, you can make a new saving throw, so until the next round, you can't do anything, but next round, you can try a new saving throw to get out of it. But you have to succeed a saving throw to get out of it. And whenever you try your saving throw, that might provoke an attack of opportunity. This thing's come down at you guys, and only Cersei is not afraid of this undead creature that's swooping down at her. But now I get my actual attack. It's going to try and move through you, Cersei. So it comes down swooping, all your friends freeze, and it tries to phase right through your body. I need you to make another will save.
It's a 21.
Alright, you're fine. But you definitely feel like you just barely shook off death as it passes through you. You felt death touch you when it passed through.
Alright, well then I guess I will cast Cone of Cold at this bad boy. He gets a reflex save of 21 to take half damage of 60.
Alright, he takes full damage.
Alright.
Cold stuff works.
Alright, that's 10. 24 damage.
Woo!
Alright.
Gust of wind.
Alright, everybody else needs to roll saves after that if you're done.
Yeah.
Froderick is going to roll a will save. He got a 23.
Alright, he's unparalyzed for the next round. We can't do anything right now, but next round he'll be out.
Alright.
Keep hitting.
God damn it.
Will?
Yep.
20.
Alright, Juwan's free.
Okay.
I got a 12.
Alright, so Harlock's still scared, but everyone else next round will be able to help you. Which is going to, as a standard action, pass through one of you. I'm going to make it Juwan this time. You have to do another will save.
Sprodrick is going to do one of his Guardian mythic abilities, Swift Action. Immediate attacker rolls twice, takes a lower roll. After attack, ally may attack and damage, bypasses all damage reduction. Sudden block, he basically jumps in front to take whatever was going to happen to Juwan.
Alright.
And then Juwan is allowed an attack
of opportunity.
After rolls twice and takes the lowest roll.
Alright, so then I need Froderick to do a will save, and then I'll let Juwan attack.
Is it a death spell?
This is a death effect.
Yep.
He's fine.
Damn.
Damn it. He's cool. Everything's fine. Juwan gets to swing and attack, but I mean, like I said, physical attack is incorporeal, so swing the sword at it's not going to do anything.
I know.
But you get a chance to do something now. Froderick took that damage, which did nothing to him.
Okay, so I'm gonna do Ice Storm,
Okay.
and that is magical hailstones.
Okay. In what range?
And they do 3d6 bludgeoning damage and 2d6 cold damage. Saving throw, none.
Saving throw, none. The problem being is this ghost is like right over you guys, so if you cast it in a place that might hit the ghost, it will also hit some of you guys.
Yeah.
Also.
Also.
And it'll create difficult terrain for all of you, because you're all kind of in this area. So you'll be creating sleep for everyone that you're around to deal with.
4, 7, 9.
9 damage?
Yeah.
Go for Cone of Cold again. He gets a reflex save of 21 to take half damage, all 66.
Reflex? I rolled a 16 plus 6, so 22.
Yep, he takes half.
Alright.
15, 20, 22, 23. So
I'll say 12. Yeah, I'll be nice.
Yeah.
12's nice. Yeah.
So he's taken 36 from me thus far, 9 from Juwan, down 45.
Yep.
Do I get to will save?
Yep, you get a will save now. See if you're able to move next turn, unless there's someone else left. Broderick? Yeah.
Broderick's just going to stand tight in front of Cersei and play the protective role. Ready
Smart.
another one of those fun little swift actions. That
Yeah,
he
protective
doesn't-
things. Yeah, be a defender. Apparently he's not affected by this death magic, so that's good. That's at least like a death magic shield.
I'm rolling will.
Alright, trying to get out of this thing.
Fucking fuck. You're still paralyzed.
Still paralyzed. Harlock cannot move. He's frozen in fear. This ghoul
Alright,
is
now-
freaking you out. Reminds you of your grandma.
Her regular attack now because the other one that she got was because of my
Attack
ability.
opportunity, yep, so it's your turn. Juwan.
Well, I'm gonna do, I'll do a flamey thing again. Oh, wait, has he moved or anything? I walked away for a minute.
I mean, it's in the area. You can, but if you did a flame sphere, apparently you can move that as a move action as long as you haven't broken your concentration.
Oh, well, so I can just, like, do it again.
Yeah, just roll me a
and not
concentration.
have to-
Just roll me a concentration check. Make sure you haven't lost concentration.
I keep hitting it.
You
on
rolled a
everything.
2, so I'm gonna say you lost
Yeah.
concentration on that flame sphere. You can recast it and throw it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right, you recast it. Use another spell slot.
Yeah,
Make a reflex save.
it's only 7.
And I rolled a 15 plus 6, so I got 21 versus your spell. Sounds like I beat it, so I take half.
Whatever.
So would you roll 7?
Yeah,
I'll take 3.
great.
That's too bad. When I was Ghost Singer tune, it comes for you, Liz.
No!
I need you to make a will save.
No! 15.
Do you have a hero point or a way to
Yes.
mythically surge? If you don't do that, you will die right now.
Can
Wait,
I
wait,
hero?
wait, what happened?
You can hero point to reroll, or you can mythic point to surge that roll.
I'll hero point because I've got 3, so I'll use one.
All right, so use a hero point. Reroll plus 8. Reroll. Another will save.
Plus 8 is 11, plus my 7 is 18.
Just barely enough. You just barely don't die. You saw the Grim Reaper pass in front of your face. You just became the closest to death since that first time your bird sacrificed itself for you on the island of Reyes, and you know that you barely escaped death that one time. This is the closer than that. You just saw the face of death and barely escaped it. This thing passed through your body. It passed straight through you. This ghoul permeated your flesh. You felt the stench of unlife upon you. You felt dead for a moment. And then just barely came back to life after it passed back through you.
Gross.
Alright, back to...
Yeah.
Alright, how close am I to this ghoul?
Within 10 feet. It's kind of hovering around your area now. It's like it's floating above you guys, messing with all of you.
I'm in your area.
Well, I'm going to walk up to him, and I'm going to cast Cure Serious Wounds on this motherfucker.
I like it, because he's undead.
Yeah, he's super undead.
Alright.
So a will save of 21 to take half damage.
I got a 23, so I will take half.
Takes half damage. I roll 3d8 plus 6. 7, so 13. He takes 7
Take
damage.
7, that's fine, yeah.
Roderick's gonna sit tight, I guess.
Yeah, human shield.
Harlock's gonna will save it. 18?
That's just enough. So next round you can do something. Well, not this round, but you're out of it now. You're now cognizant of what's going on around you.
Yeah, I guess I'll just do his fire thing again, because I don't want to not hit him, because he's not really there. So, dang. Keep hitting stuff. 3, 1, 7, like last time.
Well, I rolled a low enough reflex save this time. I take all of that damage.
Yay.
No, by the way, I just want to say, I'm going to yell out real quick. If anybody thinks they're about to die, just say help, and Project will see what he can do for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll take a bullet. Alright, this time I rolled low enough that the ghost swings at you and misses Cersei. Like, swings his ghostly, cold palm. You feel the cold air whizzing past your face.
Alright, well, since he's right close to me, I'm going to Cure Serious Wounds again.
Alright. I get a save, a reflex. I rolled a 4, plus, even with my reflex, it's not high enough, so I'm going to take full damage on this one.
Yeah, it was a will save anyway, so...
Oh, even with that, I rolled a 4. My will and reflex are both low enough that's not going to be high enough to beat your number.
Take the full 3d8 plus 6. And that makes 13, so 19 damage.
Alright, you have rid the world of this ghoul.
Yay!
It vanishes into nothingness.
And experience, please.
800 experience points each.
Fuck you, weird ghost dead thing.
Guys,
I should say 600 because Frederick's there, but I'm being nice.
this has been taken care of. I assume there's no loot since he was...
Yeah, it's gone now. Once you touched it, it's vanished. There's nothing there. It was incorporeal to begin with. There's nothing to collect. But you guys are now at the fence. You're at a big, tall iron gate. This thing was like at the like wandering around the gate, and you just touched it, and now you're at the gate. And you can see into the graveyard. Probably the largest graveyard you've ever seen in your life.
Ooh, I like graveyard.
It's like kid in a candy store for you.
Yeah, perception check on the gate. That's going to be a 22. Oh,
So-
24.
It's a very tall iron gate with very thin spaces between the bars. Seems tough to get in. The bars are high. They have spikes on them, like on not just on the top, but on the exterior and stuff. They seem dangerous to climb. You sense other undead activity nearby. Like this is the largest graveyard you've ever seen, and the only entrance seems to be from the city of Cranagris. On the outside, it's surrounded by this gate. It would appear this fence all the way around it. A wall made of iron bars.
Okay. I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. I really just want to talk to Urgathoa, but I feel like I'd have more luck if I was inside of this graveyard.
You feel like you might be able to fly over the bars if you could fly.
That's what I was going to say. I was just going to fly over there, touch down real quick, do a quick prayer, see what she would have me do, and then try to hop back over, tell them to keep an eye out, let me know if anything comes towards me while I'm in my meditation.
Yeah.
I'll whistle really loudly if we start getting attacked by some kind of cousin of that.
Bang on the bars with this sword or something like
We'll
that.
just make a bunch of
So everyone's
noise.
agreed to get your back. You cast fly. Alright, you fly over the bars, touch down on the grave, touch your head on the ground, and go for a quick prayer. What's your quick prayer?
Superhero
Alright, I
power.
will pray to the Pallid Princess and tell her that I'm about to go on a great mission to serve her and study of the undead, and I would like to know what she would have me do while I'm going to this new and wonderful realm.
Urgathoa will come to you, rise from beneath the ground in your mind, like when you are meditating, you're basically envisioning the same cemetery all around you. and she will rise up from the dirt, bless you as a follower, and say that spreading the word of Urgathoa further outside this planet is always praised. She says, the last great follower of Urgathoa is the one that took zombies to the moon.
I'm going to do an additional little, prayer. I'm going to take my scythe, cut my palm open, and rub down the scythe with blood, and present it down in front of her, and ask for any blessing that she can bestow upon me to help further her name. That's going to be a 32.
Oh, you're getting the thing.
All right, as you do this, your scythe starts taking on a strong necromantic aura. A swath of absolute darkness covers the tip of your scythe now, where the blood drips off. Your blood turns black, and now it seems to hang on the scythe. So everywhere your blood touches is now covered in blackness. It's the same as a +1 brilliant energy scythe, except instead of the brilliant energy of light, it's giving off the brilliant energy of darkness. But if you have the ability to channel negative energy, you can put it into the scythe for 1 round. So you can do the scythe damage plus negative energy damage if you have the ability to channel negative energy. If you do so, anyone that gets hit with it is bestowed with 1 negative level every time you hit them.
Wowzer.
And if the next day they have 24 hours, if they don't succeed a D16 fortitude save within 24 hours, the negative level becomes permanent. Also, now because this blade, this scythe, is infused with this black energy, anytime you slay a creature with this scythe, that being the last damage that it takes before it dies, so if you kill something with this scythe, only their equipment will be left behind unharmed, but the body will just vanish into darkness. And they will only be able to be restored by a true resurrection or a carefully worded miracle or wish spell. You have to channel negative energy for this to be happening.
Okay.
So unless you learn how to do that, or find someone that does, or find some way to do that, once you do, you'll be able to do all these things. Until then, it's just a +1.
I'm going to work on that.
Alright, yeah, something to think on. But Urgathoa has blessed your blade and blessed your mission. Zombies on the moon, dog.
Alright, well, I'm going to fly back out of there and join up the crew and see what they...
Alright, I rolled a 79, so as you fly back out...
Well, can I do a perception check really quick? And for whatever you're about to do, can I see if I notice it first?
Yeah.
I got a 12.
I got a 15.
And Roderick gets a...
23.
As Cersei tries to fly away, you'll notice a graveyard pest. You might have seen these in other graveyards before. They're called rot grubs, and they feed on decaying flesh. This one seems a lot larger than any of them you've ever seen, though. And as Cersei tries to fly away, this nauseating parasite lunges out of the soil. So yeah, this seems like an infestation. There seems to be a swarm of rot grubs. I rolled low enough that you're able to escape and fly over the edge of the fence. But you would notice now that this graveyard is full of these rot grubs, and that anyone with living flesh is probably not safe there. There's a lot of them. This graveyard seems to be full of them now that you've touched down long enough to arouse their attention, and then flew away as soon as they came out. But you've awoken a swarm of these grubs, basically. So you're either going to fight a whole lot of swarms of grubs, or just get the fuck out.
Can I?
You guys want to?
I could do the sleet storm or the ice storm or something, and
Down for killing some grubs.
Alright, let's kill some grubs.
I rolled a 20 though, natural. So unless anyone rolls a natural 20, I'm going first.
2.
Oh, natural 20 from Roderick.
Alright, so Frederick's fine. He's a zombie. He's like, fucking rot grubs, I'm out of here. So he jumped out of the way immediately, because he doesn't want his rotten body to get eaten by grubs. Sure, it's been hard enough keeping it... I assume you've been doing gentle repose on it occasionally.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I need everyone to make a reflex save.
What the fuck?
Since you're aware these grubs are coming.
21?
Nat 20.
Alright?
I got a 12, but I guess I'll surge a couple of times. That takes me to 18. Do I need to surge again?
You're good.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys just barely dodge out of the way these swarms of grubs. You roll a knowledge nature. Juan probably is the best one for that. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe not, because you rolled a 6. Who else got knowledge nature?
6 plus 7. 13.
I got 21.
I got knowledge nature as well. And that's going to be a 21 also.
Alright, Spachimin and Cersei know about these things. Rot grubs. You guys are like, don't let these things get under your skin. They're flying at you now. They're very, they're larger than normal, but they're still tiny little flying swarms of creatures. And if they get under your skin, they can be very troublesome. They tend to burrow to your heart, your brain, other internal organs, and cause death. They eat dead bodies, but they also kill anyone that's alive.
Can we do a perception? How many are we looking at?
Yeah, how many do we got? I got 24.
Jesus Christ, I have bad rolls. 11.
Alright, so it's hard to count them because they're a swarm, but the fact that I'm calling it a swarm should indicate to you that it's a large number of, like half fist-sized grubs.
Alright, I'm going to tell everyone to back up I'm about to explode.
Alright, I like it.
Are they undead?
No, they're living rot grubs. They eat flesh. They're just like a creature. They're a parasite.
Well, there goes my plan.
They nest in
Alright.
corpses and feed on flesh.
Yeah, we run away.
Yeah.
And Cersei touching the ground woke them up.
Yeah, they're going to need to be 30 feet away from me, and I'm going to turn my bone ring and do 10d6 fire damage explosion to as many of the swarm as possible. And 24 damage to the swarms.
Alright, yeah, you definitely do damage to the front part of the swarm that's closest to you guys, giving you guys a little bit of, like, space. But the rest of the grubs that were underground are still coming.
Alright, well, that was a swift action, so I'm going to also, I guess I'll cast an Ice Storm at them as they're coming towards.
But it's within 20 feet, so it might affect anyone that's within that area, which I guess since you blew the ones close to you, it's not you guys anymore.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah, you guys are, and you blew the ones closest to you, so I gotta assume you're doing the ones that are like the next closest. Just yeah. So you're doing the second wave,
In
basically.
waves.
20 damage.
All right, you seem to have killed all the ones outside of the fence, but there still seem to be swarms inside of the fence. At this point, you could either probably walk away or like move forward and attack like this. It looks like this is a very large graveyard. There's probably tons of these things all over the
Like
place.
millions?
Yeah,
Or...
millions. They nest inside of corpses, and you guys are at the world's largest graveyard. So you would assume there's probably more of them if you went in the graveyard, but you've killed all the ones that were an immediate threat. So you can either go looking for more trouble, or you can back the fuck off and take your experience points.
You should
I'm
run
pretty
away.
happy with the experience. You guys just want to walk away? We've done some damage here.
Yeah.
I think run away.
Alright, at this point, for those grubs, I'll let you guys decide. You can either take 300 experience points each, or you can let Cersei have 1,200.
I think Cersei should have 1,200. She did everything.
Alright, Cersei gets 1,200 experience points, no one else gets anything.
We ran away.
You ran away while she killed a bunch of grubs for you guys.
Yeah.
If they got underneath our skin, we'd be in a pickle.
And they're an infestation. They're a swarm that it's gonna keep coming. No matter how many you guys kill, I'm gonna have more of them. It's a very huge graveyard. All right, so you guys go back into town.
Yep. Let's finish up our second month of engineering. Do we get? Now we have it as a skill. When do we start getting bonuses to that skill?
At 6 months, you do your final project. When you finish your final project, you get a +5 bonus.
All right, very well. All right, well,
And you get whatever you get from your final project. It's like a double bonus thing, because your final project also includes an item.
Ooh. Alright, well, obviously, Genevieve, you're not going to be hanging out in the graveyard with Froderick while I'm gone. I think that's a pretty dangerous place.
Froderick's gonna hang out in the city, I think, now.
Yeah.
It's like, wait for you guys to come back.
Genevieve can still, like, go out during the day and have fun and hunt shit and do whatever, but then at night
I mean,
she needs to come back.
There's still air above you guys, but she can fly around if she wants and come back. If you tell her to come back to Froderick, I will assume she'll listen to that instruction.
Because she knows, and I know, that I'm coming back as soon as I can.
Sure.
But I also kind of want to do a knowledge local around the campus, I guess, if there's, like, a college bar or something, to see if anybody's ever, like, heard about or knows what the, like, Fsters would stand for.
Alright, you go to the 5-Star Tavern, and you're hanging out, drinking, playing chess with a bunch of nerds.
So, guys, have a nice, super casual conversation. Because you didn't say I couldn't tell anybody about it, he just said I couldn't bring anybody.
I mean, he seemed to come to you pretty secretly, and the card he gave you vanished right away. So, I mean, it seems like they aren't keeping secrecy as, like, an utmost importance type of thing, but yeah, you can do whatever you want.
So,
it's your
is
life.
this room 33 in, like, it's just like a random dorm room?
Yeah, it's like one of the rooms in the inner city, where you guys are, like, waiting to get on the ship. You get, like, room and board taken care of.
Alright, I'm just gonna go. I'll just go.
Alright, you go to your party.
Yeah. Hello.
Alright, you show up at room 33.
Can I take my bird with me or no?
Do whatever you want. You can bring your bird. But yeah, you go to this party. They're playing some, like, space card games. Nonsense. That doesn't seem to be the main focus of the meeting. It seems to be, like, cover until everyone's there and everything's quieted down, and then it turns into a real meeting of the Esters. All undercover technomancers, apparently. After a couple minutes of your meeting, you're able to gather the fact that these are all magic users here on Prime. Value their ability to use magic even outside of this area, and so they've developed technomancy, the ability to use tech to magnify or use magical powers outside of even this realm or outside, farther away from their sources of power. A lot of them take intelligence-enhancing drugs. A lot of them are shooting up drugs that make them smarter. I mean, they'll tell you. They're like, there's some of this, some of that. They're taking intelligence-enhancing drugs. They have a desire to destroy technology. The reason they approached you is because you're a druid who's in tune with the earth, and they assume that you're on the same level as them. So they are trying to prevent technological progression. A lot of the things happening here in this city and on the starport, they're trying to secretly destroy. And so now they're recruiting you from whenever you go up into space to sabotage, to prevent technology from existing, to prevent the space travel, to prevent, any magic growing plants in space. They're trying to, knock them back down a peg. They're breaking the rules up in space. They only use technology because they have to. They're anti-tech, other than the fact that they have to use tech to fight tech, basically.
So why are they anti-tech? What's the root problem with it? I haven't had much experience with it myself.
Yeah, I mean, the root problem is that they just think it's unnatural. They do it because they have to fight back against technology. But they think that using this technology, space travel, all these things are wrong, and they're using technology to fight back against it. And they've invited you into their fold, but you have to take a ZFT test if you would like to help them destroy technology in outer space and be part of their fold. If not, they're going to, use whatever technomancy they have to wipe your memory of this meeting, and nothing ever happened.
I kind of want to ask Gozra what Gozra thinks about... I mean, she's never said anything about this before, whether technology on Earth was a bad thing. But I can't think of an instance where somebody's used it to do something bad against nature, though. So I don't want to take on this mission to start, destroying a whole bunch of stuff if I don't need to. Why do I need to destroy it?
Is technology good or bad? I guess is the main question. They seem to think technology is usually bad. Although they're using technology to do magic. They're using techno-magic. They think overall the use of technology is bad, although they're willing to use it themselves.
I mean, Gozra liked the idea that I was doing plant stuff in space. She's like, yeah, do it.
Do you want to destroy technology or not?
No. I don't think I see a need to.
Alright, you leave the meeting thinking you just played cards all night.
Okay. Cersei scried all that, everything.
Yep, Cersei scried.
So
doesn't scrying take an hour? Don't I get to say? Or you scribed Juan, though, when she was willing, right?
I was willing.
Alright, so yeah.
So even though I don't remember what's going on, Cersei will just tell me what happened.
Yeah, Cersei can tell you what happened.
I say we launch. And we accomplish everything we want to get out.
Right,
I kind of like just busting up technology. Can I go to that same place where I know that she walked into? And then
are you going that same night?
I mean, I'll go after she returns or the next day and just sit around and see if anybody approaches me or if I can tickle anyone's fancy.
I mean, the next day that just turns back into someone's apartment. They were only having this meeting there that one night. So after that, it's just like a room. It's like you guys have rooms. So unless you go that same night that Juan walks out, it won't matter.
No, that looks a little suspicious. I'm not going to do that.
Alright.
Want to fuck shit up, though. That sounds like fun.
Does it? They're going to know that it's you, and they're going to take all your stuff from you that you left on Earth.
If they catch me.
I say we launch.
Yep, let's finish up our, our engineering, and then try to hop on board.
So we got 2 months or 3?
I thought we only had a month.
You only got some months.
Yeah, we've got 2. Juan and Cersei have 2 months under their belt.
I thought the shuttle was going to launch.
Alright, you guys ready for your first launch attempt?
Yeah!
Sure.
So now it's time to see if we can launch.
Okay.
I rolled a 42. Let's see what that means for weather.
I'll die.
No, I think 42 is fine. I think it's just
The
kind of
rocket
shitty.
blows up.
Nice, calm weather, actually. You guys, perfect launch weather.
Excellent.
Woo!
You guys board this first rocket. They say everything's ready for launch. One last instruction video before you launch. By video, I mean magic hologram. It informs you that the space station starport is powered by gravitron reactors and run by a computer that will dictate all orders for crews and control all functions of the ship. You're asked to always comply with the computer, follow all instructions, and you'll be notified if anything is needed by you by the computer. They'll let you know that the computer has electric eyes and robots everywhere along the ship, and all of your activities are being monitored. The space station is designed to observe nearby planets and the void, which is what they call a nearby black hole. It has some abilities to self-sustain, but still receives regular deliveries from the planet below. So on you guys' ship that's coming up right now, it'll be, part crew, part supplies for Starport, and if those supplies don't make it, Starport needs these supplies on a regular basis, so that's why they try to launch so regularly, because they need to supply this space station. It's not totally self-sustaining yet. Before boarding the ship, they will implant you with a colored chip that will give you access to specific areas of the ship and keep track of your charge account. So all the money that you have on your charge account will be tied to this chip, and you'll be able to use that. Each different color of chip will grant you a different level of clearance, and different number of carry-ons and other privilege is determined by the computer. Charge ports are accessible with your chip throughout the ship. As long as you have 1 charge in your account, you will be allowed a room to sleep in, and 1 goo tube per day. Goo tube is like a nutrient pack, is what they feed you when you're in space. You drink a tube of, it's like Go-Gurt.
Delicious. Go-Gurt.
Every day before being released from your room, you will get a daily mission from the computer. Each rooms are solo rooms, so you'll be sleeping alone. And each day before you leave your room, the computer will give you a mission, a daily mission. Station often sends research vessels to the surrounding territory. And if you have proper clearance, if you're a reporter, observer, you might get proper clearance to actually travel to these other territories in the near galaxy. And you must be red level clearance or higher to carry your weapons. So while you may bring your weapons with you onto the ship, they'll ask that you leave them in your room unless you are red clearance or higher. They will inform you, since you are new, that you will be most likely put in a room with 1 to 20 other bunkmates. You'll have a private area to your own self, like a private cubicle with a bed, and but it'll be a one large hall basically, and no actual closing door until you leave this bunk area. But you'll have your own little cubicle of sleep area, but you'll be with at least 1 to 20 other bunkmates, with at least 150 other CPU computer booths at the entrance and exit. So you'll have your room, and you'll have your computer terminals that you can use from this dorm room. There's a power bank on board, a greenhouse, an auto dock hospital. It has a medical lab, pharmaceuticals, etc. Star Patrol headquarters, which is their police. Body maintenance facility, which has a gym with like stationary bikes and gravity-controlled weights and sauna, mirrors, aerobics, etc. to keep you in shape while you're in space, which cost 1 charge per use or per hour, depending on the amenity you're using. They have illusion rooms, which cost 10 charges per hour, which are like the holodeck on Star Trek. But if you're willing to spend 10 charges, you can go in there, suggest an environment, and be in whatever environment you imagine. And they have a tavern on board, which is in the center of the ship. So it is a lot like Deep Space Nine, where it's like a big ring, and in the center there are like tubes that connect to the center ring. And in the center ring there's a bar called the Starport Tavern. And that's the place where most people of any clearance level can meet, because as far as the rest of the ship, depending on what level of clearance or color of clearance you have, it'll be very restricted to what areas you can travel to. But almost anyone can go to the tavern. You can share drinks, play space chess, whatever. They also have some labs, but the labs are mostly on limits to just people that have clearance to them. The Gravitron lab, the medical lab, the military lab, the nanotech lab, the research lab, the production lab. So you guys are all prepared to get into Starport. They'll say that they are especially studying the black hole, the void. Any information on that is gleaned by the researchers will be heavily rewarded. They've sent in lots of probes, but the probes always get limited in information before vanishing, so they have not collected a whole lot of information on the void. For those in the botany department, they have been able to grow some food in an artificial environment and create water, but it's not been sustainable, so they still needed supplies from Earth, because it's not something they can maintain for a very long period of time. Because the difficulty of launching these rockets, there's been lots of explosions or late launches delayed by weather, so sometimes they go long stretches without food, without supplies, so things do get kind of tight in space sometimes. They let you know that your charges are money here, and then you can access your money through charge ports located conveniently throughout the ship. And your room is free as long as you're working. So as long as you're doing work on the ship, you have a place to stay. The ship is controlled by the computer that is trying to build a perfect society here in space. By going on the ship, you sign over all rights to the computer. The computer has the right to do as it wishes while you're in its environment, as it's trying to create a perfect society. They'll let you know that you guys are being brought on as scientists that have passed tests to be on this rocket ship. But there will be a small number of people on this ship that are civilians that have paid for a room on the starport, or they're just tourists, basically. You guys are going there, you're going to be doing work in space and then returning. These people are going to spaces to hang out and be like cruise ship people. So they'll be doing nothing. But you guys will have daily missions from the computer. Like I said, you get 1 free goo tube per day. Failure to follow the computer orders will lead to death or expulsion from ship.
So, Juan, do you remember back in the day, I think I gave you this little thing called a bottle of air?
When was this?
Long time ago. I don't remember why I gave it to you, but I feel like I did. Oh, maybe Morgan had it.
Yeah, because I don't have it written down, and I can hold my breath underwater, which is why I was thinking maybe it was like the visiting the sea witch lady.
Yeah.
But I've got water breathing.
Oh well, alright, never mind. That would have been nice to have.
Yeah, in space, totally dope. Alright, so now I need to determine what level of clearance you guys get. Liz, you're a greenhouse worker, right? You're a botanist?
Yeah.
Alright, you get a green chip.
Cool. I bet that doesn't get me anywhere.
That gets you anywhere that a green chip allows you access.
Cool.
Which is... Every chip allows you access to different places. This is the way the space works. You guys are both what? A reporter and what else?
I was a healer / asset management. Is what I.
All right. So Harlock, you're going to get a white chip, and Cersei, you'll get a blue chip. I will say that Cersei's allowed to carry her weapons anywhere she wants, and you guys aren't.
Well, I don't have any weapons anyway,
Yeah.
so doesn't matter.
So Harlock can't. Harlock, you can leave your weapons in your room, but Cersei can walk around them if she wants. That's what it means. There's a little bit of a difference. Here's what it means. If you have a white chip, you're part of a medical staff.
Alright.
You're gonna be pretty much a neutral entity on this ship, with some improvements to your status. You're like above a civilian. You're beloved. You're above the tourists, but you're not necessarily. They don't. You're not important. Green. You're a greenhouse worker, so you're basically just a worker. You're a workman.
Yep. Workman.
Workman.
Yep. I'm saying.
All right. Blue. Scientist. Scientist. Very valued.
I can't carry my weapon, but can I carry my shield?
Yeah, you can bring your shield with you. They'll allow that. Once you guys have a chip, they will issue a uniform. The uniform will be the same color as your chip. You guys now have a space uniform.
Green Dickies.
You got green Dickies, blue Dickies, white Dickies. Once you guys have your chips, be ready for launch. The ship will take off. You guys launch into the atmosphere. Boosh.
Whoa.
You guys see the planet growing smaller and smaller beneath you as you get farther and farther away from your home and everything you've ever known and loved. You guys fly through outer space, and the ship lands at Star Patrol headquarters. Bum, bum, bum. You guys dock. There's a very long docking process and people getting on and off the ship. And you guys are led into the outer ring of Starport, which has 16 different clearance zones. Depending on what color you are, it will give you access to different areas. It says loyalty is rewarded here on Starport, and assets will be given to valuable citizens, such as real food allowance, extra clones, etc. So as you guys are arriving, there's an announcement saying that valuable workers are rewarded, and those that aren't are, put to death. So you hear the friendly voice of the computer threatening you with either rewards or death, depending on your behavior.
Can I roll for
the computer?
Does this sound like bullshit?
Yeah, roll it. Roll sense motive on a computer.
15.
Yeah, you don't know. It's a computer. It's hard to tell. It has a very friendly voice. It sounds nice enough, but it's also threatening you with death if you misbehave, so it's debatable.
You said there were 16 clearance levels?
16 zones. Yeah, 16 zones of clearance. You'll have access to different numbers of them in different areas of each of them as your color goes. You will be warned that in different areas of clearance, there'll be different markers indicating whether or not you can enter. So at each door, there'll be a color marker, and if your color chip is not marked, you will not be able to enter.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But you have to pay every time you open a door?
Yeah, one charge every time you open a door, and if you try to open...
every time I open the door to my room, I have to pay.
Well, your room is like a cubicle with no door, but every time you leave the dormitory, which has 1 to 20 bunks in it, with a bunch of other people, which is where you guys are staying, every time you leave the dormitory, yes, you have to pay 1 gold. Or you wait till someone else pays and then try to dart out right behind them. I don't want to give away secrets too easily, but
Yeah, I was just wondering if I could do that.
you can do that as long as you roll a stealth check or do something. Yeah, acrobatics. Yeah, I'm allowing that stuff in this game, but basically that's what you're doing. If you want to save charges, you've got to try to dart in through doors when someone else opens them. If someone else pays to open the door, it's like when someone pays to buy a newspaper and you take one also. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's basically the only way you're going to save money on this ship. They will offer you gravity clips for 200 gold, all kinds of things you might need in space, EMP grenades, blank hologram generators, laser sights, robo-jacks, signal jammers. Actually, I need you guys to roll knowledge local to see if you get any of that, because I'm on the black market here. So unless you guys are totally cool, none of you guys were Esters, so I can't give you that stuff. I forgot Juwan didn't take that route.
Yeah,
The route of what?
I got a 17.
You can roll knowledge local if you want, Juwan. Alright.
18.
Yeah, it looks like Spachiman and Juwan will suspect there's some black market activity. As soon as you guys get online, you notice people making some deals on the side. So if you guys want to get in on that, you may try with a diplomacy check. There are some things going on. You might have, those words I just said about those items that I just named, you might have heard those words and be like, that sounds interesting. What are those guys talking about? But it'll take a diplomacy.
A store like that.
Yeah, you might take a diplomacy check to get in on this black market shit, though.
I rolled a 17 plus 19 on my diplomacy.
Alright, yeah, you go up to one of these black market dudes and be like, hey man, what's up?
What you got?
Yeah, man, he's offering all kinds of stuff. Silexes, detonators, E-picks, Black force fields. Yeah, you can get on that deal too if you rolled high enough. You can get on it.
What's this auto jack? Is that like for my penis?
Oh, it's a Robo Jack, dog. That's not for your penis. That's for robos.
I got 4 dicks.
Well, if you have is one of them robotic?
No.
Oh, and I don't know why this would help you then.
I've got powdered dragon's dick.
Is that robotic?
No.
Yeah, RoboJack is a strange rod-like device, like a penis, that can be used to usurp control of an otherwise functional robot. It's a black market device that can use to be hack robots, basically. If you succeed in a ranged touch attack within 60 feet, the robot has to succeed a DC 14 will save, or else you'll be able to link to its command processor, and the next turn, one subsequent turn after, you may take control of the robot as a standard action.
That sounds baller. How much is it?
RoboJack, yeah, 30,000.
Oh, I'll take one.
Yeah, how about the gravity clip?
Oh, that's 3,000 charges.
Okay.
Gravity clip, a small disc-shaped device can be attached to a melee weapon. Once mounted, it modulates the weapon's mass, at the moment of impact. Via the manipulation of gravity fields, a successful hit consumes a charge from the gravity clip, so one of your battery charges. But it causes the damage to resolve as if it was one size larger than it actually is, so yeah. The gravity clip is 200 charges.
Ugh, holy shit.
I can't afford that. All I got is 100 charges on me at the moment.
I forgot Space Jazz was so expensive.
Flashlight's only 3 charges.
Oh, yeah.
If you want that piece of crap. They have engineering bracers for 105 charges.
Holy shit, what are those two?
Once per day, on command, these bracers can transform into a set of masterwork engineering tools. If you transform them, you can either take a 10 on a single disabled device or engineering check, even when in danger or in distracted. So they'll do the work for you, basically. If you're distracted or in trouble. So you could do that and still do other stuff at the same time, because the gloves will do the work for you. So if you want to hack a panel and shoot an arrow at the same time, they're great to have.
That sounds awesome. I just don't know if I should spend all of your charges. All of my charges.
If you spend all your charges, you won't have a room to sleep in or a goo tube to eat, so... Or be able to open doors around the ship.
I have 5 charges left.
How about I'll do an appraise check on it to see if that's what it's really worth. Yeah, it's only 14.
Yeah, you don't know. It's space. You've never seen this crap before. Maybe.
I'm gonna pass until I realize I need them, and then I'll regret this.
Juan will be shown to the greenhouse.
Cool.
It's an area that helps regulate the oxygen along the whole ship, so this area actually, the plants here, which is not very many, helps regulate the oxygen to control the food supply. They study space plants as well, like plants from other planets here. Harlock will be taken to the Autodoc Hospital, where they're, as a medical lab. So either be working in the emergency auto dock or in the medical lab. Roll me a percentage chance to determine which one you work in. Or pharmaceuticals.
43.
Alright, that puts you in pharmaceuticals. You'll be working in the pharmaceutical... You'll be like a pharmaceutical tech, basically. And Cersei will, of course, be working in one of the labs.
0 point.
You re-rolling what?
Pharmaceutical labs.
Alright, you want to get it somewhere else?
20. 20.
Alright, so you can work at the auto dock if you want.
Yeah.
That's a robo doctor. You're basically like a robo doctor's nurse.
Yeah, I saw that shit. I read that shit online. I keep them charged up.
Yeah, you just hang out in the room with them, make sure it's you're talking about humans and not lobster people or whatever. So you guys are given the tour of all the areas that you're allowed to access, so they walk you through the halls that you're allowed to use. Each one is color-coded with your color, and they inform you any hall that doesn't have your color stripe in that hallway, you're not supposed to go down, and an alarm will sound if you do. They'll show you the access port to the central tavern. They'll show you your way to your rooms.
Are we staying together?
Let's assume you guys come on the same rocket. I'll put you guys on the same bunk. Let me see how many other people are with you. With 15 other people. So there's 15 other people and you guys in your bunk. You guys have your own cubicles that you sleep in that has a bed and a wall with an open door.
It's like a prison block with 15.
To leave that room, you have to pay the charge to open the door, but within your dorm, you can kind of wander around, meet people. There are 15 other, new recruits to Starport that's staying in this dorm with you. And you have a computer access port next to your bed, a very small computer terminal. There's a bunch of larger ones in the hall. but that you're expected to check into once a day, basically. Failure to report will result in charges deducted from your account. Once you have 0 charges, you'll either be killed or kicked out of the ship. You have no reason to be here with 0 charges. You'll notice as you guys are being given your tours that there are a lot of like arachnid spider robots kind of wandering around doing ship maintenance. A lot of robotic floating eyes or like cameras and stuff in the corners watching everything you do. You'll notice that you're definitely being watched. You'll pass the signs for rooms labeled like Gravitron Lab, Medical Lab, which Harlock will have some access to, but not a lot. You'll be able to use the medical lab because that's the why you're there. It'll cost you 20 charges per day of use, Harlock. So for 20 charges, you can go to the medical lab, do whatever you want for that day. But it costs you that much just to go in there and do whatever you want. You can craft trauma packs, med lances, pharmaceuticals. It's attached to the Autodoc hospital, so that also gives you private access to that kind of stuff. So anytime that you're not at work that you want to use that material, it costs you 20 charges per day. There's a Star Patrol military lab, which one of you guys are involved with, a nanotech lab, which one of you guys are involved with, a production lab, which one of you guys are involved with, and a Star Search research lab, which is only used to study objects found on other planets. So maybe Cersei might become involved with that if she discovers something awesome on another planet on a mission. There's no gambling on the ship. They see that as a waste of resources. Although allegedly, though you guys are pretty worldly, allegedly that stuff still goes on somewhere. Who knows? You're aware of the Star Patrol, just like back on Earth. Those guys are here. You'll notice the tourists that came on the ship getting off when you guys get off too. Heavily medicated. You're told that a lot of the tourists here on the ship are heavily medicated to reduce their use of resources.
So they pay all this money to do this.
They pay all this money to go to space, and they're drugged up so they don't eat food or breathe too much oxygen.
But that's a cruise ship. I think you're supposed to eat too much food.
Well, it's a space cruise ship, and there's not a lot of food on the ship, so while they don't tell these people they're getting ripped off, they probably are. But since the computer makes all the decisions here, that was like the computer made that decision that everyone on board the ship, like once they arrived, was drugged before they were allowed onto the starport. So the computer is making all these executive decisions. When they got on the ship, like you guys were in the same cabin as them. They weren't drugged when you were on the ship. And now that you guys are on Starport, they are drugged. So it's safe to say the computer has decided for resources' sake it's safe to drug them. So they seem to be largely ignored by the crew. They're kind of like drugged up and pushed off to the side, try to kept out of the way. Welcome to hang on your door and meet all kinds of people, do whatever you want for the first day until your first day of missions from the computer. So you guys are free for 24 hours until the computer gives you your first mission.
Yeah, can we talk to the other people that are in our bunk? Like find out who they are? The
Yeah,
kind of people
there's 15 other people there. You can talk to them. They all seem to be people like you. Tourists seem to be given brown clearance. They're all given brown ships. And a lot of them are wearing brown outfits. So the way you would spot a tourist is they're probably wearing all brown. Just like Harlock is wearing all white because he's medical staff. It appears like most of the people in this bunk, about half of them are medical staff with you, Harlock. So a lot of medical staff, a lot of nurse buddies, pharmaceutical techs, etc. And even some nanotech and robotic people, but semi-medical people is what a majority of your bunk is.
Sweet drugs.
Yep. Of the rest of the group, a lot of low-level workers, a lot of greenhouse workers like you are. There's nothing. So a lot of gray and green badges. A majority of the rest. Only 1 or 2 other people seem to be the same clearance as Cersei, like red or blue. No one above blue is in this. There are 2 other colors above blue as far as starport is concerned. But the highest grade of color you guys have come in contact with so far is probably blue. So Cersei seems to be the highest rank in this bunk, and there only seems to be 1 or 2 other scientists. And it seems to be they have stationed a couple of young Star Patrol agents here too. So there are a couple of like young police coppers types, you know. But while they're wearing red uniforms, underneath their red uniforms, they're wearing those shapeshifter suits, so you can't tell what they look like. You never hear their real voices. So there are 2 guys like sleeping in your room, and they like try to keep as secret as possible. They've got like curtains over their door, and they wear these shapeshifting suits, and they try to shower alone, all that other stuff. But otherwise, 13 nice dudes of similar clearance level as you guys. Only 1 other blue scientist there with you, Cersei, 1 other researcher.
I'm going to do a knowledge history check to get a little more information about what does her duties entail.
Yeah.
28.
All right. So this other scientist appears to even you get to talk to them. Says they work in the nanotech lab. Very experimental, like technomancy type craft that they're developing here in space. Very high fail rate, so not a lot of success in their research. There's not a whole lot of these guys doing this research. Very small crew. This guy works here on the station developing nanotechnology.
Well, I'm going to diplomacy and see if he's got any cool little nanotech that he's come up with that might be of help in my researching. That's a 24.
All right. So this researcher takes a liking to you. Showed you some of his cool nanotech stuff. A lot of the stuff he has access to is in the lab, though. He doesn't have, it's experimental, so he has no license to take it out of the lab.
Well, with that diplomacy, can I ask for a little tour?
You can't take it in the lab because you don't have clearance. Even though you are of blue clearance, you're of different. You can't get into this nanotech lab because you have to have nanotech clearance. But after you guys get to talking, since you have a very high diplomacy, I will ask. He will ask you if you embrace the void.
That sounds scary.
I'm open to any and all new experiences.
All right, he likes that answer. Roll me diplomacy with I'm open to any and all new experiences.
All right, that's gonna be a 30.
All right, your new bunkmate will inform you that he is discorporate. He is part of a secret society of people on this ship who embraces the void, the black hole, and is slowly trying to force Starport into the void. He's a dedicated researcher. He studies nanotechnology, but he's using the nanotechnology to try and reprogram Starport to pilot itself into the void. And he'll let you know this information and he'll invite you to a discorporate meeting if you're interested in joining. Since you seem interested into the void. Who knows? Who knows what's in the void?
Yeah, could be a wormhole, could be just a black hole, and we get torn to shreds, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what it is? It's a mystery. That's the whole thing they're interested in. They don't know.
Why don't they just go themselves then, rather than take everyone with them?
Well, they've sent probes, and the probes have not come back successful. And, I mean, there are some small ships that have gone in, but they would, come back with no information. And it's only people like Cersei, who are reporters, who get to go out on these ships, and usually they're sent to other planets, because research in the void is seen as a waste of resources as far as human resources are concerned. Which is why they've only sent probes in mostly so far, and the probes have mostly vanished after a short period of time. So these discorporate are obsessed with sending, actual, humans. They want to send all of them. They're let's all go through and see what happens. That's the only way we're going to learn anything. So he seems obsessed with learning what's on the other side of this void.
Alright, I'll definitely go to a discorporate meeting.
Alright, so he'll say, there's a game night on Thursday. He'll give you a bunk number. You show up there, bunk 54.
33.
Always 33. No, it's bunk 54 this time.
Like Studio 54.
Yeah, if you want to be discorporate. And he'll give you a time, and you're going to show up under the guise of being there to play some sort of game. Like card game, board game.
Hello!
Alright, so yeah. You guys are having a fellow night. Room 54.
Well, I wanted to talk to people that were around, and I guess what I'm most interested in is getting a bunch of plants and stuff going, because that's going to be the only way that I'm not going to get space crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're being you were brought here to work in their greenhouse, but it does seem to be very small, and it seems to be mostly used to create oxygen for the ship and a small amount of food for the ship. Nothing like being on Earth. They've got wall gardens, growing in hydroponic gardens, growing in tubes and stuff. So while there are plants, it's very sterile, non-earthly type environment. But you can, once you don't have access to them in the day, but tomorrow once you start work, you'll have access to them. Your first day of work will be at the greenhouse. But you guys have just arrived, you're getting settled in, so you have a night of rest before any of that happens.
Yeah, I don't know what I would want to do here. I don't want to spend a bunch of my money charges, because I have a feeling we're going to need them.
You want to talk to any roommates or anything?
Yeah, that's what I said before, that I wanted to, see who's around it. And,
I told you, there's some green and grays if you want to talk to some green and grays. You want to talk to some other greens? There are 6 other greens in the area if you want to fraternize with them and see what's up.
Yeah, can I go make friends with them?
You can make friends with 6 greens?
Yeah.
What do you say? What do you do?
Hey, it's my first day, and I'm a green person, too. This means that you guys all work in the greenhouse, right?
Yeah, they all work in the greenhouse.
Cool. So do you like it? Is it fun? You making good strides?
Most of them are from your bunk or from the same ship as you were, so they also have not had their first day of work yet.
Oh.
3 of them have been here a little bit longer. They can give you some information more, maybe. They seem to enjoy it. There's plants around.
Is anybody else a druid?
Most of them are druids or at least rangers, but for the most part they seem to be very much nature lovers.
So how are they all planning to cope with the lack of dirt beneath your toes?
Roll me a diplomacy check.
11.
Oh, that's pretty rough. So they don't seem to want to reveal too much information to you. It's just your first day. They're like, yeah, we do what we can.
Alright, well I'm gonna start. I just want to shout out to all the white people to gather together.
A gathering of
Roll
white
me a
people,
diplomacy
huh?
for the white folks.
Not threatening at all.
17 plus 19.
Yeah. So all the white folks in your block, which is most of them, like this majority white house. So you're now like calling all white coats, and all the white coats gather to one side of the dorm, and everyone else feels totally isolated.
Large groups of white people scare me.
And I'm gonna assume I just keep imagining this like a prison block, so I want to assert my dominance.
All right, I like it.
I'm gonna med lance the guy standing right next to me with injury poison.
Oh wow!
All right, that's a touch attack. So roll me that versus AC.
That's going to be.
It's touch AC. It doesn't be very high.
It's gonna be an 18.
That's gonna be successful. What do you give this guy?
Injury poison.
All right, you just debilitated one of your coworkers.
What the hell?
And then I'm going to be like, oh yeah, and then I want to cast neutralize poison on him instantly.
I don't think I want to save because that guy wants that to happen. But I need you to roll a percentage chance to see if you succeed because you're in outer space now.
Oh, okay. I got a 90.
Yeah. So yeah, you poison the guy, then you neutralize him. All right. So that'll freak out a lot of your followers. So you've already asserted some dominance among these folk. I'll say even two of these guys that have seen it been here long, and everybody else like walk up to you and approach you. So two of these white chip medical staff workers come up to you, and they're like, "Yeah, new guy. You know, we like that you're like a risk taker." They say, "Well, they call themselves game players," and they invite you to game night in room 96 on the same night. All these game nights are on the same night. It's always Thursday night, 4 p.m. And they'll inform you it's a secret gambling society. And then they play for charges, so bring your charges with you. You can win or lose charges there. But there's like a secret game. They'll inform you that it's like gambling. You seem like a gambling man, so you've been invited to be a game player.
Harlock like.
Alright. That's unless you guys have something else to do on your first night. That'll be your whole first night of just meeting people in your dorm.
Yeah, I guess, unless we want to go to the bar.
You guys have been given the tour, so if you want to go to the bar, you know where the access tubes to the bar are.
I mean, I'm always down for the bar, but if you two want, we can.
We have to use a charge to get out.
Yeah.
Well, just one person uses a charge, and then the other two just slip out the door behind them.
I said let's wait and see what's in store for us, and then we can decide if we need to go to the bar to look for intel or whatnot.
Okay.
I mean, as far as this first evening on the ship is concerned, once you guys are locked in your room until you get the first orders from the computer, it seems like the first night's just goof off night. You can kind of do whatever you want until the next morning. The next morning, you're going to be given orders to the computer and be expected to report to work, but you get this one first night in space free to do whatever you like.
Alright, well, maybe we should go to the bar in that case.
Alright, I want to roll a perception check to see if anybody else is leaving.
Alright.
I want to, stand next to the door with my med lance out, threateningly.
Alright.
I actually got a 26.
Alright, you are definitely watching very closely, but I rolled a 43. And so because you scared everyone earlier by stabbing with the med lance, people are too scared to approach the door while you're standing next to it. What are you riding?
If I tamper with the device, that could be trouble, right?
I mean, according to the instructional video you watched up on the way up here, the computer is about self-preservation, about preservation of the starport. So, tampering with it might be seen as like an offense against it. And therefore you'd be attacking the whole station if you attack it, and then therefore you might be seen as a liability rather than an asset.
Well, I spend a charge to get through, and if they want to sneak through or not...
Yeah, roll acro or stealth or something to get through the door really quick.
Yes. I'll roll acrobatics, 10. I'll surge that a couple of times. 20.
Alright, yeah. Cersei gets out.
So 19.
Yep. So you guys are able to dart out the door with Harlock. You're free in the bowels of the ship, in a hallway that is labeled with all the colors.
Let's head towards the center to the tavern.
Alright, you guys head toward the center tube, which heads toward the center circle, which is the tavern. Welcome to Quarks.
Cool.
It's spelled with an O, Quarks.
Yeah. K-W-O-R-K-S, Quarks. That's how we're spelling it. And it has a mohawk and a wheelchair.
We're not getting sued.
We are not getting sued. But yeah, it's a bar at the center of the ship. Like I said, the gambling's not encouraged there. They do have some space chests, but other than that, there's a lot of gaming going on. A lot of people drinking, enjoying it. A lot of people different clearance levels kind of hanging out here.
All right. What's on the drink menu?
Space goop. It's like the goo tubes you guys eat, except it's like somewhat alcoholic version of that, and they squeeze it into a glass.
Can I have one?
You can have a space goop. One charge.
Is that what everyone's drinking?
It's the only drink there is available.
But so yeah, like everybody at the bar.
Everyone's drinking Space Goop.
Alright, well I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, what we can do is I got my cauldron. You can dump some booze in there. We'll get some Space Goops and make a Space Goop
punch. Spike the Space Goop.
PJ Space Goop.
It's not hurting anything. It's just gonna,
We're gonna sell it for a charge each.
2 charges because we're gonna need 1 Space Goop each.
No, listen in. I'm gonna put some elven absinthe in that shit.
Okay.
Like do that in the bathrooms or something like that. Like make toilet.
Mix in the toilet. I love it. I love you guys are. I like how this has become a space prison all of a sudden.
Well.
Yeah.
Sometimes to escape prison, you've got to go through the dungeon. So tune in next time for more Long Distance Dungeons and Dragons Dinner Theater.